Hello everyone and welcome back to WolfQuest, and we are here with Knight and his mate Artemis, who are about to set out into the Slough Creek Night and see if they can find a den and a place to raise their puppies. And I think we're probably going to actually send them to the Bison Peak Cutoff Den, because part of Knight's ability is that if he can make a trip to the cattle ranch during an episode, then he gains a chance to rescue a puppy for that episode for every time he visits the cattle ranch. So it would be advantageous for us to find a den near the cattle ranch, probably not like the creek or the Saddle Meadows den. Ideally, the creek den is probably our best option, and Aspen Heights would be a good option, but what scares me about Aspen Heights is how far it is from the rendezvous site, so we're probably going to avoid that one. We don't use that den all that often. But we probably are going to avoid it for the time being. Maybe we will settle there during one of the years, but probably the Creek Den is actually our best option. But Knight does not have the experience for that right now, so we're going to send him to Bison Peak Cutoff this time. And today is actually a very special episode, because we're going to switch off with Knight and his cousin Aurora and have both of them get their winter hunting in. And I will be doing that through the form of a hunting montage, because it is kind of a lengthy process. And we will have these guys claim their den, but I also am going to be announcing the pack names today. So we got a few pack names, and for the most part I tried to look through your guys' ideas and maybe combine them a little bit to an extent, if I could, to try and see what you guys suggested, but I didn't get a whole lot of suggestions, so I didn't have a whole lot of material, and I kind of just went off of what we had and what I felt would fit well. So for Knight, his pack name is going to be the Moonlight pack. So this is the Moonlight pack, and we'll have them claim this den for this year. And that will be Knight and Artemis and their puppies. So we're going to go ahead, choose this den, and jump into our winter hunting here. And I will go ahead, there we go. I will go ahead and, instead of marking territory, we're going to go hunt and get that all set up. We are going to be playing on challenging this year because we don't have any difficulty modifiers. So both of them will be on challenging. And then I will announce Aurora's pack name when we get to her half of the episode. So keep your eyes out for that. But for right now, we're already in the elk hunting ground. We will head this way and see if we can find the elk herd. And I will go ahead and do a hunting montage for you guys. So we should see it around here somewhere. There's got to be elk somewhere. Uh-oh. Hopefully we find them soon here. We're kind of just circling the edge of the territory. There's the scent trail. Okay, it's heading this way. Unfortunately, one of the downsides about playing at night is there are no ravens, and so it can be more difficult to find elk herds and carcasses. So I'll go ahead and start the montage here, and I will see you guys afterwards. Alright, so that wraps up the winter hunts for these guys. I think we should be pretty good. We should be able to make it across to the summer hunting grounds. Remember, we are going to be eating a lot from the cattle ranch too, probably. So, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up for this episode. or at least for these guys. So we will see them again at the start of the next week. Actually, all through next week, we'll be following these guys and the Moonlight pack. And the week after that, we will rejoin Aurora, and we'll just alternate weeks like that, because it generally takes us about 3 days to play through one litter with one set of wolves. So we will be following these guys in the next week, and then the week after that we will return to Aurora. But first of all, we got to go see Aurora through her winter hunts. So I will see you guys there in just a little bit. Alright everyone, welcome back. We are here with Aurora and her mate Borealis, and we're going to send them off to their den as well, and then have them do their winter hunting. But I also want to announce the name of Aurora's pack. So I took suggestions. I didn't necessarily get a huge amount, so this one I kind of expanded on more for my own, but the one common factor was that pretty much everyone wanted it to have to do with these guys' names, and so I think probably the most fitting name we could get for these guys is going to be the Pack of Northern Lights, because Aurora and Borealis, it really can't. I don't know. It just fits them way too well. So we're going to have the Pack of Northern Lights and the Pack of Moonlight. And so these guys will be doing their winter hunting here for today and claiming this den up here. We are sending them up to the Saddle Meadows den, because that is also pretty close to the rendezvous site, but it's also really close to Little Butte. And Little Butte is where we'll have to be running every day, and we'll go do that at the end of this episode. But that's where we're going to have to run to every day to make sure we can gather some moss so that we can keep the puppies warm, because remember, Aurora's puppies tend to come really early in the year, and so they're at threat of freezing. And if we don't have moss to line the den, there's going to be much more chance that some of them will die. So let's head up here, and we will claim the den. We'll make this our den, and we will head back down. And yes, we completed the mission. Now we have to mark our territory, but we will do that afterwards, because we're going to do the winter hunts with these guys as well, and make sure we get that out of the way. And also keep in mind, you guys, this week we'll be following the Moonlight pack story, or this coming week, and then the week after that we will be back with the Pack of Northern Lights. So you aren't going to see these guys for a little bit, but we will be seeing them soon. And let's see, there is the trail. These guys have the ravens they can rely on, and we'll go ahead and do our winter hunting here. So I will see you guys after that. All right, so that is the winter hunting for Aurora and Borealis, and I both noticed a few things during the hunt, and I realized something midway through that I actually forgot to roll the annual challenges, but it turned out not to be a big deal. I went and did it mid-hunt, and the interesting thing about Aurora and Night is that they're actually separated by about 2 years. Aurora is 2 years older than Night, so at this point, this is the time when Night would just be being born. Actually, or no, he would be a year old at this point because wolves have their pups in this at 3. They stay with the pack for 1 year, disperse when they're 2.5, find a mate when they're 2.5, and then have pups when they're 3. So Aurora is 3 right now. Night would still be with the Galaxy pack, who would be down in the south there, which means we actually don't get any of the bonuses that we got from facing the Druid pack, because that's actually happening down there this year. But Night is 2 years after that. So Aurora got lucky and got the Skulk of Foxes task, which basically means, or annual challenge, which basically means that if we see a fox, we have to try and kill it. If we can't kill it, we at least have to chase it for a decent amount of time, because there's too many foxes and they're stealing all the prey. And Night got pretty lucky too and actually got the 2 years in the future, the Den of Cougars challenge, which actually would make this den inaccessible, but because it's different years, this den is accessible for Aurora. So, but Night's down there anyway, so he doesn't even need to worry about that. So fortunately, we got pretty lucky with the annual challenges, but one thing I noticed is that Aurora seems to not be a very good swimmer, because whenever she would cross the water, the deep part of the water, her head would actually go completely under, which I've never seen before. It's probably because she's a very small female wolf, and they tend to be smaller than the males anyway, so not only, hey, no, that's not yours. Not only is she already small, because female wolves are smaller than the males usually, but she's also additionally small because she's very fast and not all that strong. So her head actually will go almost all the way under in a lot of cases in the water. So she's probably not the strongest swimmer, and she may let Borealis carry the puppies for quite a bit. And Borealis himself seems to not be a very strong hunter, because I noticed he tended to hold off and would just run along and kind of follow until the elk was weakened enough to stand its ground, or to withstand its ground at first. He didn't like attacking while the elk was on the run, which is kind of an interesting thing about him. I wonder if something happened, if he maybe got kicked by an elk or something and got an injury. I don't know. I wonder if something caused that, or why that is. But yeah, just some interesting things that I noticed about these two. Well, at this point, they're still quite young and inexperienced. But, they've had a lot of things not going in their favor, because Aurora tends to have her pups early, too, and that puts them in additional danger. But anyway, so I wanted to mention that a little bit, too. That could play into the story later. Keep your eyes out on that, and you never know. We'll just keep our eye on him. But yeah, anyway, I did want to bring up that I did, in fact, roll for the annual challenges once I realized I'd forgotten them, and thankfully it didn't make me have to retake anything. So anyway, though, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the episode here. So we will be back with the Pack of Northern Lights in about 2 weeks. Next week we will be following the Moonlight pack, and then we will be back with Aurora and Borealis. So we'll see them in a little bit. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.